Hello, I'm David.
Hi, I'm Julie.
Now we're going to do a review of Unmatched, the Jurassic Park edition, InGen versus Raptors. Now this is part of a system where you can play with other sets and combine them. This is a player versus player, card-driven, where you win when you eliminate your opponent. Now this is for ages 14 and up, although you can play with younger players. They use that age for regulation purposes. It's 2 players, although it does include rules for team mode, and it takes about 20 minutes to play. So we're going to give the overview first, and then our rating, and then we'll talk about why we rated it, and then we'll compare it to the Funkoverse game system. So here's the map board. It's upside down because when you watch the How to Play and Playthrough, you see I was playing the Raptors, and this is the starting space for the first player, starting space for the second player. Here are my heroes. Here's Julie's hero. Each one of my heroes has 7 points. Julie's hero has 14. She has sidekicks that have 1 health each. And you'll see that we each can move 3. And we have different abilities. Like when my Raptors attack, I only have melee attack, but when they do attack, they do plus damage when they're adjacent to the target. Whereas Robert is that he can place traps in unoccupied spaces in his same zone. And when they're tripped by a Raptor, he gets to draw a card. And his InGen workers and Robert get to have ranged attack. Now you'll start with 5 cards. There's different types of cards here. This is an attack card that she can play, and it does 2 damage. But then he can play a card to block it, so I wouldn't do any damage if he played that card. Now only Muldoon can play this card, but he does have cards that say any, for instance, whereas all my cards say any because they're all Raptors. Whereas Julie will have cards that will say Muldoon, any, or InGen. So that's the attack card. That's a defense card. Now this can be used for attack or defense, and this is a scheme card which you can play. Each character will have 2 actions. And so you can do maneuver. You must draw a card, because if you run out of cards, you don't reshuffle your discard pile, you'll start taking 2 damage when you can't draw a card. So this game encourages you to try to eliminate your opponent as quick as possible without depleting your deck. So you draw a card, and you can move your fighters, in this case up to 3. And you can boost your movement. So for instance, if I were to play this card, I can use this boost value here and move either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. And because I have 3 heroes, I don't have to move them all. I can move some or none and just draw a card. And Julie can do the same thing here as well. She can move some of her sidekicks or her hero. So the other thing you can do, that's how you get cards. You do the scheme card, and that's usually, those are the lightning bolt ones. And then
Here.
You can do an attack or defense. So here's, for instance, a scheme card that Robert can do. Choose different effects, place up to 3 traps, place all of your defeated InGen workers, if any, in Muldoon's zone. Wow, so you can get workers back, and then you draw 2 cards. That's a cool card.
I know I had it, but you...
I defeated you before you got it. Now, when you do combat, it's important to know the difference. You have after combat, and you might have immediate. Do you see an immediate there, honey?
I'm looking.
Oh, here's an immediate one right here.
Oh, and here's a during.
Okay, to cancel all effects on your opponent's card. So let's say Julie attacks me, okay, with a 3. She'll put this face down. I won't know what it is, and then I do this one face down. And so now we reveal. Julie will do 3 damage to me. I block 2 of it, because this card can be used as attack or defense. And normally she would get this effect, right, during combat. If this is your first action this turn, this card value is 5. However, I have this effect here immediately, cancel all effects on your opponent's card. So you can cancel effects. So you keep on playing until the heroes are eliminated. In this case, the Raptors must defeat Robert, and Robert must defeat all 3 Raptors, and you use these dials to keep track. So there you go. Let's take a look at our rating.
Okay.
We both rated a 7.
Yeah.
Usually willing to play.
Yeah.
Now we're going to compare this to the Funko game system. And the Funko game system, when we played Peter Pan, we rated that a 6. We're playing in the mood. So we will play this one over the Funko game system. So let's talk about why we rated it as such. Well, for me, it's thematically solid. It's a player versus player, card-driven, tactical combat system. So what does that mean? You really are thinking like other miniature game systems. You're moving space, I have to get adjacent. I have to worry about, I can attack over these walls, but I can't climb over the walls. These are one-way arrows. And Julie's thinking, I want to get up here in the tower. That way I can use my line of sight to fire at these different zones here. She can fire into the blue here, into the gray, and into the brown. So it's very tactical. As a quality miniatures and art, average cards. So this is some of the best miniatures I've seen in a while. I mean, they're just, I'm not a painter. If I was a painter, and I've painted before, but I don't consider myself a painter, this would be fun to paint. Now, these are outstanding quality here. Nice job on the miniatures. But the cards are average quality. They're just laminate. They're not linen. That means they don't have a foil stamp on it. They're decent. They'll hold up, but they're average quality. If they had a linen finish, I would say they're high quality. And the tokens, these are good.
Yeah.
Good quality. Right here. Decent thickness. And the tokens. Okay, so it's a nice balance of complexity, accessibility, and playing time. The hardest thing is dealing with the cards. So when you're playing the first time and you're playing your faction, you got to get used to how your deck works. And that's how games like this work. But because it plays so fast, it's okay if you lose the first time. You're going to want to keep on playing and getting to know your faction. In fact, Julie started with the dinosaurs, and this requires a little bit more finesse, whereas hers are easier to play because this is pretty much post up and do range attacks. And she can do some fun things with her traps. But I would say that for more experience, if you want to get the most bang out of your faction, you play with the Raptors first, for the more experienced players. Now the line of sight rules, that's really nice. I like the fact that we don't have to be taking a rubber band or going from center to center. It tells you what you can hit. So Julie being here, she can fire into the brown and gray. If she's up here, she can hit all this other stuff. If she was here, she can hit gray. I mean, that's just great. Makes it so much, makes calculating combat easy. Now, there's some lack of rule details. I had to go onto BGG to find out, for instance, that when you boost your movement, it applies to all your heroes and your sidekicks. It didn't say that in the rule book. And then it talked, something else I had to look up about when you run out of cards. Yeah, if you take that action, you can take other actions. It didn't really clarify what happens when you run out of cards.
Oh.
So it just means that when you run out of cards, yeah, you can take a maneuver action and move, but you're going to take 2 damage. And it would apply to all your heroes. So it didn't really specify that. That means that if I still had all 3 of my Raptors left and I ran out of cards and I took a maneuver action, they'd all lose 2 health. But I'm sure all 3 would not be alive if that was the case. All right, so take a look at Julie's.
All right,
reasons.
What do I say? I think this is an exciting dinosaur game. It makes you want to rewatch the movie, that's for sure.
Yeah.
As David said, the quality components. I think the playing time is decent for 2 players. It's perfect.
And sometimes you play twice or even 3 times.
Because it goes so fast. Yeah. It can be frustrating if you don't get the cards you need and you're trying really hard to kill something. And for both of us, but mainly me, you might need a couple playthroughs to understand how the card works, how the cards work.
Yeah, if you're not as experienced as a player versus player combat game, you need more plays. Now, talk about lucky draws. When you watch the playthrough, I had 3 of these. I think almost all of them in my deck.
Yeah.
So I was able to run up to Julie and hit Robert like 3 times because I boosted it, got up to him, surrounded him, and then I was able to play this and then get another action. So because this is a card-driven game, you can get lucky. But the game goes so fast, it's like, well, I guess you got lucky. Let's play again.
Yeah, exactly. You can't get upset because you just know you're going to play again right away.
Right. So if it was a game that we're playing for an hour,
yeah, there'd be no way.
And then I got lucky like that, I'd be like, well, I don't know if I want to play that.
I wouldn't play it again.
So because it plays so fast, it's okay to deal. I'm okay with a lucky card draw. So let's talk about how this compares to Funko.
Okay.
We did do the Peter Pan one if you search our channel. And you'll see the miniatures are quality. They're just different. You know, it's cutesy art, and here is the expansion. There's an expansion for this one too, honey.
Oh,
And
okay.
it includes the T-Rex
Oh, nice.
and Malcolm X and
Malcolm X.
Malcolm. Yeah. That'd be a pretty cool
That would be cool.
Unmatched, huh?
Very
But anyway,
cool.
just like other Funko games, it really doesn't get, you're knocking your opponents down, and you're trying to control areas, and you're getting points for that. It's a cute, more family version. Okay, so as you see here, it's cuter,
Yeah.
but you're not really. This is less family-like because you're actually trying to hurt each other
I agree.
and kill each other. But this is more like the movie, whereas this is more a cutesy version of the movie. And because it has the same modes as the other Funkoverse games, they need to come up with other modes to this. This is why we rate Funkoverse a 6. Because it's something that you have fun playing with the characters. That's where the theme comes out. But the modes of play are not that exciting. You either run to an area to get points, you knock somebody down, and it is fun using your abilities. And that's where the theme comes into play. But it's just not as... I'd rather play this over Funkoverse. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, if we want something just really cute to play, I'll definitely do the Funkoverse. But this one is very... I'm serious, you really feel like you want to play the movie. I mean, watch the movie, sorry.
Right. So this is why we rate this a 7. This is more of a miniature game for gamers who will enjoy this, and you can mix both of these game systems. Like you could have Peter Pan versus a Raptor if you really want to. Okay. This is if you don't want to have not have it be so violent.
Yeah.
Okay. And for younger people, but see, here's the thing: both games require complexity that even a young person will need help with. Both games.
True.
Definitely, a young person will need help on understanding the cards with this.
Yeah.
There's more reading involved in this one, but even here in Funkoverse, to understand what your character can do, there's less they have to understand with Funkoverse. So this is more accessible for younger people, and it's more family-oriented. If you've got a younger person that's getting into Magic or Pokemon game, you can handle collectible card games, they can play this on their own, no problem.
Oh, okay.
So I'd rather play Unmatched over Funkoverse.
Yeah. Unless I'm in, I want to just play something cute and fun,
Right.
I would do the Funkoverse. But if
Right.
I want something a little bit more meaty, I would definitely do the...
Yeah, it's a good way to put it.
The
Something more
Unmatched.
meaty. All right, well, thanks for watching.
Thanks so much, you guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.